White box testing is also called as glass box testing. Using white box testing methods can derive test cases that guarantee that all independent paths within a module have been exercised at least once. Exercise all logical decisions on their true and false sides. Execute all loops at their boundaries and within their operational bounds. Exercise internal data structures to ensure their validity. Basis path testing is a white box testing technique. The basis path method enables the test case designer to derive a logical complexity measure of a procedural design, and use this measure as a guide for defining a basis set of execution paths. Flow graph notation, a simple notation for the representation of control flow, called a flow graph. It also known as program graph. Look at the above graph. Arrows called edges or links represent flow of control. Circles called flow graph nodes represent one or more actions. Areas bounded by edges and nodes called regions. A predicate node is a node containing a condition. Independent program paths. An independent path is any path through the program that introduces at least one new set of processing statements, or a new condition. Independent path must move along at least one edge that has not been traversed before the path is defined. An independent path is path through the program that introduces at least one new set of processing statements, or a new condition. Independent path must move along at least one edge that has not been traversed before the path is defined. Example: deriving test cases, using the design or code as a foundation, draw a corresponding flow graph. Determine the cyclomatic complexity of the resultant flow graph. Determine a basis set of linearly independent paths. Prepare test cases that will force execution of each path basis set. Graph matrices, a data structure, called a graph matrix, can be quite useful for developing a software tool that assists in basis path testing. A graph matrix is a square matrix whose size, i.e., number of rows and columns, is equal to the number of nodes on the flow graph. Control structure testing. One condition testing, a test case design method that exercises the logical conditions contained in a program module. 2 data flow testing selects test paths of a program according to the locations of definitions and uses of variables in the program. Loop test focused on validating the functionality of loops in a program. Loops are a critical aspect of programming, and testing them ensures that the loop behaves correctly under various conditions, such as when it executes 0 times, a single time, or multiple times. See diagram below.